In the county of San Juan in Shanxi Province, China, the harvest of corn and millet was good this year. Mrs. Ho, who lives here with her husband and 3 children, is busy with her daily routine. But tomorrow will be far from routine for Mrs. Ho and 50 other women in her commune. Tomorrow, a medical team from Beijing and the United States will begin a very important pilot study, a study of cervical cancer and screening techniques to detect it and its early signs. China has one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Cities like Beijing are modern and becoming more and more westernized. But in less developed areas of the country, there are few hospitals and clinics, and opportunities for cancer screenings for women are non-existent. In these areas, and in many less developed parts of the world today, cervical cancer is the #1 cancer killer of women. In Shanxi Province, the mortality rate is high, and the doctors have chosen to come here because the women in the surrounding communities have never before been screened for cervical cancer.
At some point in time, if your goal is to study a disease, you've got to find the disease. I'm sorry that these women have a high rate of cervix cancer, and my goal is to be able to help that problem. But you can't help that problem if you don't encounter the problem.
This important study is a collaboration between the Chinese Institute of Cancer and Medical Sciences in Beijing and the Cleveland Clinic Foundation of the United States. The study was initiated by Dr. Jerome Bellinson, who heads the American team. Dr. Yulin Chow, chief of the Department of Epidemiology at the Cancer Institute in Beijing, leads the Chinese team. Since early 1997, they have worked together to plan this cooperative study.
These people are easy to work with, and they work very hard, and they're very dedicated, and they want to do things right.
But the challenges of mounting a major medical study in China are enormous. Equipment and supplies from the U.S. must find their way to the rural clinic. The medical team has to travel to a remote area never before visited by Westerners. Modern technology must coexist with temperamental Chinese electrical service. And for the pilot study, everything had to come together in just one day. Today, Mrs. Ho will board the bus and make the 25-mile journey from her commune to the clinic to be screened for cervical cancer for the first time in her life. The Chinese women are excited about being included in the study and about the American technology that they've heard will be used for the very first time in China. These women are between 30 and 45 years old. Most have given birth to children at a local clinic in the commune, but not one of them has ever been tested for cervical cancer.
The big unknown from day one is still the big unknown. I don't know how much disease we're going to find.
Things run amazingly smoothly for the 50 women who arrive at 9 a.m. The entire process is explained to them, and they fill out forms about their medical histories. The 3 clinic rooms are staffed with Chinese and American doctors and technicians who work together to operate the equipment and carefully examine each of the women.
And this is a pretty complicated protocol. This isn't just comparing one thing to another. We have several interventions here. When I take the biopsies,
the Chinese quickly develop an understanding of the technology, and Dr. Bellinson, Dr. Chow, and Dr. Pretorius soon become supervisors.
If the trial is successful and you can come up with a system that actually works, when you go home, there's people in China who can do that system and teach others to do that system. It's not just science, it's teaching.
The weeks and months of planning have paid off. The pilot study continues for 4 days, and as it turns out, the incidence of cervical cancer and precancer among the screened women is much higher than originally anticipated. The feasibility of the study has been proven, and the team now plans to reunite in China later this year to carry out their research.
I just want everybody to know that I am absolutely overwhelmed how wonderful things went today.
他很想说，今天他非常的高兴，就说。
I feel very good because everybody works very hard and we get in, along each other and get a good result.
再见，再见。I was overwhelmed by the people, by how friendly they were, how glad they were to see us. I never felt so appreciated in my entire life.
A study that saves a whole lot of lives is what everybody looks for and hopes that someday they'll be involved with. And this study has the chance of doing that.
I'm extremely confident. Putting together the right team is a mixture of good planning and good luck. And I think we've had a lot of both.